Welcome back, everybody, to another episode, and the reason why you guys probably clicked on the title is because you guys know that I got my new boat here. So this is pretty much my dream boat, guys. This has everything on it that I would want on my boat. Finally, didn't plan on buying a new boat till like March or April of next year, but this sucker popped up and it was just too sweet of a deal to pass it up. So I went and looked at it, test drove it, came back a week later and bought the darn thing. So like I said, guys, bought my dream boat, and I'm gonna hand the camera over to my father-in-law James, and we're gonna go walk through, do a tour of the boat, and show you guys the whole rig, and yeah, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so here is the boat. This is a Triton TR 210, so it's actually a 21-foot boat. It's a 2007, and then the motor on the back is a 2009 Mercury Pro XS 250 on there. So this is the whole boat here, and I think what we'll do for this tour is the same way we did my father-in-law's boat. We'll just start from the front and then kind of work our way back and show you the whole boat. I don't have everything in the boat that I'm gonna have in it just yet. I just got it. Tomorrow will be like our first day on the water with this boat, but super jacked about it. It's just black in color with like silver flake, some silver and red accents on there. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think that we should name this boat. It seems like a bunch of YouTubers always have their subscribers name the boat, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think should be the name. But like I said, we're gonna start at the front and kind of work our way back, so here we go. All right, guys, so we're at the front of the boat here. Nothing special, same as always on a boat here. Obviously we have our winch and everything like that, but we have a Ultrex. Now this is a 112-pound Ultrex on here. This was a huge deal when buying a boat, when I was looking for all different sorts of boats or whatever. After fishing with an Ultrex trolling motor, I don't think that you can go back. Honestly, an Ultrex is just, you gotta have one, and if you've ever fished with them, you know how nice they are. So definitely wanted to make sure I had a 112-pound. This does have a longer shaft on it than my father-in-law's boat. I don't know if I'm gonna be a huge fan of that yet, but we'll see. Definitely will help out in, you know, those deeper lakes, and especially out on like the big water, Lake Michigan and stuff. But we have our trolling motor, and then right here we have one of the units as well. This is a Humminbird 1198, so it's an 11-inch screen. This one I don't think has side imaging up here, but that's pretty common. For the front of the boat, just down imaging. It's got GPS and all that on it as well. And then I guess we'll just work our way back and show you guys kind of the trailer, and then hop in the boat and show you guys everything in the boat. Okay, so obviously here's the trailer. It's just a dual axle trailer on here. Pretty standard, for nothing, you know, too crazy. I do like that these are pretty much all steps for you and everything. That's kind of nice. So here is the beast here itself. Like I said, this is a 2009 Mercury Pro XS 250, okay? This thing's an absolute workhorse. This boat can do, when I was in it, I got it up to like 65 when I was driving it. He said that he can get to 70 in it. I mean, that's plenty fast anyway. So, and then we also have dual power poles on this thing. On my father-in-law's boat, he's got the talons, so I'm pretty accustomed to the talons. So I'm interested to see how these power poles work and everything like that. I mean, I know how they work, but see how they hold up and everything like that. The guy that I bought the boat from, he said that he's never had an issue with these power poles. So pretty stoked about that, but I love the fact that I've got dual power poles on here. Big motor. All right, guys, and before I forget to mention it, we also do have a jack plate on here. Now that's super key for especially fishing the Mississippi River. You get into a lot of shallow water instances, especially right now. The Mississippi River is super low, and I've heard that it's dropped yet. So this is an 8-inch jack plate, so that's definitely going to help in those shallow water situations. I can get the motor up and then get up on plane and get out of those shallow water areas without having to idle in and idle out constantly, and it just burns a lot of time, especially in tournaments. Guys, now before we hop into the boat, we'll come around to this side of it. Totally forgot about this thing. But I didn't know what this thing was, but I pulled it out, and this thing's actually like a ladder that drops down, and these like fold out, and it's actually a ladder. You know, I guess if I'm ever in the water, I need to get back in the boat, that'll be convenient, but I didn't know what that was for the longest time. Oh, and then before I also forget, this also has boat buckles here on the trailer. These are really nice. If you guys have never had them, these things are huge. It just basically, you can release them, come down, and then you can just, whenever, makes it super easy when you're trying to load up. All right, guys, so now we're up in the boat and we're on the front of it. Like I said, we have that Humminbird unit, which is really nice. And then the pedal here is actually recessed in for the Ultrex, which is really nice. And then we also have our switches here for the power poles. So if I'm on a bite or anything like that, I don't have to have a remote to click or whatever, or reach down and click this. I can just tap this button here and drop the poles or bring them back up, which is really nice. Okay, so before I get into the compartments and everything, you can see how big this deck is. I mean, this deck is absolutely huge. It really comes back pretty far here, and especially when I'm like working the trolling motor here. I mean, there's just a lot of deck space on this boat. It's just a huge deck. The back deck isn't as big, but that's pretty common with newer boats. They tend to make these front decks a lot bigger and the back decks a little bit smaller. But now we'll dive into the compartments. All right, guys, so this first compartment here, this one's pretty simple. All I've got is just my life jackets in here, throwable. I've got my lights for the boat as well, and then I've got just some extra towels and stuff like that in here. So just anything like that. I've also got just some of these. You never know when you need these. I had them in my tracker and it just paid off really well. So that's the first compartment right there. And then we'll just do this other compartment here. This is just a rod locker as well. It's pretty much the same as the other side here. But I don't have any rods stuffed in here just yet. I just threw some on the top for tomorrow. But this rod locker is pretty big. I have like a 7/6 rod I threw in there the other day, and it fits with ease. There's no issues fitting a big long rod in there. Now I got two compartments here in the center. This first one is pretty big actually. It goes like all the way up in there. It's pretty big, but I just have like a bunch of my plastics because I keep them in these thicker containers. My frogs, ton of extra fishing line, duct tape, just a lot of miscellaneous stuff. My rod sleeves are in there, but it goes way up in there, so you can definitely store quite a bit in there. And this also here, just for trash. If you have any like wrappers, a new lure you took out or something, you can toss in there, throw it at the end of the day. All right, so this compartment here is just for the extra, or not extra, but for all my tackle pretty much. What I kind of like about it is already slotted, so you can fit these bigger ones actually fit in the slots perfect, but the smaller ones do not fit in these slots as well. But pretty nice to have all these in here. I'll definitely be filling this up a lot more this year, but just threw in everything that I had for right now. So a big thing that is different obviously from my boat and my father-in-law's boat is that this actually can have a dual console in it. When I went and looked at the boat, the dual console actually went right here, and but it was removable. So I asked him if he could remove it for me since he was the one who put it in. He had no problem doing that, so he removed it. I definitely think there's, you get a lot more room with a single console boat. Not as pleasant for your co-angler, whoever's riding with you, but it just makes for a lot more room when you're re-rigging stuff. So I definitely was super jacked when I messaged him about the boat, which was kind of a deal breaker for me. But when you spend this much money on a boat, you want to make sure you get what you want, and I wanted a single console. The last compartment up here is just right here. This is just a cooler, which is kind of nice. It'll save space for me, especially. I always bring a cooler with, but it's pretty deep. It's narrow, but it's pretty deep. You could throw a good size, ice and a bunch of waters and stuff in there. It'll be nice just to not have that extra, cooler sitting in here taking up space. All right, so now we're at the helm of the boat. Okay, so obviously this is just our console. We have another 1198. These units, okay, they're not the newest units like the Helix like I had before on my tracker. I had that Helix 9, but they are 1198s, so they do have an 11-inch screen. This does have side imaging, down imaging, GPS. It has everything that my Helix had, but I mean the Helix probably had a little bit better imaging, a little bit better LED screen and everything. But for the fishing that I'm doing, these 1198s are going to work just fine, and they're plenty big. The screens on them are pretty big. So on the helm here, there's also another unit here. I get it does work, he said, but I'll probably end up not using it. We just have our gauges here, and then obviously your bilge, your aerator, your pump out, all those different things, lights, horn, power, just to give me power to the front of the boat. And then I have my trims here. Now this trim right here on my left, it's like a blinker trim. This just trims my jack plate up and down, and then I have another blinker trim over here. It might be hard to see, but this trims the motor up and down. Otherwise you can trim the motor up and down here from the other throttle. Does have a hot foot that is hooked up on here. It's going to take me some getting used to use this hot foot, but yes, the hot foot is there. Also have another switch for my power poles right here as well. All right guys, so I'm a huge fan of this. I love the fact that we just have this step here. Now this step here, it has a couple cup holders here, but it's a nice sturdy step to get onto the back deck. That's really nice. It kind of sucks when you do have a full bench seat here because you end up stepping on the seat constantly, which can cause tears. But I do like having this here. This also opens up, and all I have in here is my call tags, another pair of scissors, pliers, another set of like a Leatherman's, and then just a pen. Actually, there's not a whole lot in here just yet, but pretty much everything that I can think of that I'm probably going to need is really in there. I can throw my keys and stuff in there as well. Alright guys, so now we have the back deck here. I'll go ahead and show you guys everything back here. These two compartments here are the live well, and pretty big live well. These things a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and then it's just the same thing on the other side here. Just one big nice live well there. Everything works nice, pretty standard. Also, we have two bigger compartments in the back, which is nice for your co-angler. But back here, all I've got, which I'm going to add more to this, is right now I threw in my toolkit, which is nice to have if you need to work on the motor or anything like that. Nice to have a toolkit. I'm going to be putting a first aid kit in here as well, and then also some oil, because this is a 2-stroke motor, so you do have to add oil to it. So I'll also have some oil in here, and then basically anything else that I can think of I need to get in here. I also need to get a net as well. I don't have a net yet, but I will grab one of those. So it's the same thing on this other side, guys. I don't have anything in this one, but it's the same thing. Another big storage compartment here, just to throw any tackle. It's got some slots in here to throw some stuff, but I don't have anything in here at the moment. I'm sure I'll fill it up eventually. So the last compartment on the back deck is just where all the batteries are and everything, and we can show you guys that. What I like about this is I have these trays here, so I could throw extra tools, throw the motor toter in there as well. The trays just come out just like this, which is really nice. And then I've got two batteries over here for the trolling motor, another battery over there for the trolling motor, and then the cranking battery. And then this is for the oil for the motor. And then back in there, there's two pumps for the power poles as well. Kind of hard to see, but you'll notice that on Ranger boats, Ranger tends to make this part of the boat a little bit bigger. This compartment back here tends to be bigger, and you can actually they have a slot for like an extra prop, and it's I like that feature about Ranger, is the fact that in the back of their boats, there's more room to work with your batteries and stuff there. Unlike like Triton here, for example, and a lot of other companies, they make this compartment kind of narrow. But I mean, it still works. But I do like the fact that Ranger on their boats makes that compartment a little bigger. So there you guys have it, my dream boat bass tour right there, guys. This has pretty much been my dream boat right here, guys. I always wanted a 20-foot boat. 21-footer was just a plus in my opinion. It's got the Ultrex, like I said. It's just got everything that I need. It's got two nice big screened units on it. They're not the newest, but they'll do everything that I need them to do. And it's a single console. It's just everything that I wanted. I've been, working hard to get to where I am to get this boat and everything. And I think I was going to be able to buy a boat until about March or April of next year. And then, like I said, this came out, and it was just too sweet of a deal to pass it up. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, in the comments, drop a comment what you guys think we should name this beast right here. Let me know in the comments below. We'll love to see what you guys have for a name. Maybe we'll take like the top 3 names and do another vote on that. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. At 5,000 subscribers, we're doing a rod and reel giveaway, so if you guys want to be entered in that, just got to subscribe to the channel. But like I always say, remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep fishing hard.